Songwriter Ellie Cook has been getting more media attention lately than most of the country's politicians. And in an election year, that's saying something. Now, Ellie has been nominated as one of 25 nominees for Next Magazine's New Zealand Woman of the Year. I managed to get a few minutes with Nelson's busiest woman. So, Ellie Cook, welcome back to Mainland Television. Look, we better be quick here because we have so much to talk about. Yeah. First of all, let's talk about what happened in France. This is fascinating because you ran into something you weren't expecting, right?
Yeah, I was at a press conference and someone came up and asked me if I would come and visit the grave of an airman from New Zealand, and that was how it all kind of unfolded.
Right, and then you found out there's a special connection between that community and that airman and things that were going on back here in New Zealand that weren't going on and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, basically, because they built a monument to the airmen, there was a Lancaster crash in 1943 and there were Canadian, Australian, UK and New Zealand airmen on that plane. And in 1985 they built a monument to the airmen, and basically all of the other air forces came, but it was the same year of the Rainbow Warrior bombing, so we declined the invitation. Okay. And these people felt that there was still a bad relation, that New Zealand hadn't come.
So in all that time since the Rainbow Warrior bombing, there'd never been a reinstatement of the relationship?
No, not for the people of that village, and also there'd never been a New Zealander to the grave, so my family were the first New Zealanders to visit that soldier's grave as far as the town knew, and there's certainly never been an official acknowledgement from the New Zealand government.
Okay, boy oh boy. Okay, let's change subject. I want to know about the earthquake CD. What is it you've done here?
Oh, okay. Well, I did this with a friend. It's We Will Rise Again. www.wewillriseagain.com is where you get yourself a copy. I put together a compilation of New Zealand independent artists and some famous songs like Nature Formula and Ray Columbus and the Invaders and Grey Bartlett, various people. Went to all the major record companies and negotiated with them to drop their mechanical royalties.
Okay, nice.
So that the whole $10 goes to the Red Cross Earthquake Appeal.
How hard was that?
2011. Lots of emails, lots of negotiating, but as soon as one sort of went, yeah, okay, we'll waiver it, and nobody's allowed to make any money on it, I said that's fine. We don't want to make money. We just want the money to go straight to helping Christchurch. And so I've been selling them all over the world actually, and they're sort of starting to be in Australia now. We're starting to sell quite a few, so we've raised about 10,000 so far.
I think there have been people around Nelson, for Taste Tasman and some of these other festivals that know when Ellie Cook asks, there's only one answer that's going to come in the end, and that's going to be yes.
The powers of persuasion. Yeah. Perhaps I've sort of got a bit of a power of persuasion.
I think you've got it down to a fine art. You are one of 25 women in New Zealand who have been nominated for Woman of the Year. How does that feel?
Basically, those 25 women are just, outstanding women. You've got people like May Chen. It's just in business. There's 5 categories, of course, and I'm in with people who are film producers and one of our leading fashion designers, and it's just it's pretty special to just be in amongst the mix, and for 2 Nelsonians to be there as well. So that's pretty exciting. It came about because I featured in June Next. They'd come across me because of my work in social networking, and they said, you're really inspirational. You're a woman in your 40s that's pursuing a dream, and we love that at Next, and so that was what it was all about. So it's about inspiring other women to follow their goals. Just because you're in your late 40s doesn't mean that you can't do what you've always wanted. You just need to decide to do it and actually do it, and that's what anything is. It's really not letting things hold you back. Global Village had come across me, and they know what I'm like with the social networking, and that is a way of me lifting a daywithouthunger.com. They are aiming to have a day without hunger by 2013. They've fed out hundreds of thousands of meals to places like Haiti and Africa and places of poverty, and so I was invited to be a Global Village champion, and again I get to be in nice company, Celine Dion and Muhammad Ali and lots of amazing people as well that are out there doing their bit with their publicity. I'm here doing publicity with you. I'm lifting the awareness as well for Global Village. So that's what it's about, is being a person that represents them.
Fantastic. Ali Cook, I've got to say congratulations on your nomination for this. All the best for when it's announced. And I've got the feeling we're going to have to do an Ali Cook special here at Mainland TV. There's even more to talk about yet. And there is. So thanks for taking the time.
Okay, thank you for having me on.